Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, as always, we're sponsored by Deters Law and Parks Yoga, and we have a major announcement to make. And that major announcement is we are going to blend our shows together. So at the conclusion of the Bulldog show, we're going to go right into the local news, and then we're going to go in right with the world news with Jamie Spindley. So it'll all be in one show. You can watch what you like. And ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, we are beating all tri-state news stations with a major Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati story. So stay tuned for that. How you like that for a tease? All right, today in history, the Louisiana Purchase occurred. This is a great story. Thomas Jefferson sent over to France some envoys, including James Monroe. And what happened is there became an opportunity to buy the whole, nearly rest of the West, except what was owned by Mexico, California, Texas, and so forth. But this cost us 15 million bucks. It was in 1803 on this day in history, and Thomas Jefferson, who was not for the expansion of federal government, violated all the rules when he did this and pulled it off. And the rest is history. It's probably his biggest accomplishment as president, the purchase of the Louisiana Purchase. Napoleon needed money to fight the Brits over there. That's why it happened. All right, Tucker Carlson saw this story. It's fascinating. Tucker Carlson himself says he has spoken to somebody who has seen the unclassified, the classified documents that haven't been declassified on JFK, and that there's no question that the CIA was involved in the assassination of the President of the United States. And the repercussions of that, I think we can say, is that in this government, since then, who knows even before, but at least since then, that this country has a lot of dark forces that run unchecked outside the electorate office. It's almost like the swamps are real, folks. And it's sad. U.S. Supreme Court temporarily stayed Title 42 from going away. I've already did a show about it. It's just awful. It's just immigration is going to pour in here. Carrie Lake won her first courtroom battle yesterday, and her matter is going to go to trial. Folks, Carrie Lake might still be governor of Arizona. Musk decided, I love Elon Musk. Hey, you own the company, you can change the rules. He said it's not just going to be everybody voting, it's only going to be blue marked Twitter people are going to get to vote whether he should be CEO. The Clown Committee. I'm going to start calling it the Clown Committee because I can't say that word. The Clown Committee has no authority to do anything, but yet they did it. And by the way, I am the only Republican candidate for Kentucky governor who is defending President Trump. Harvey Weinstein convicted of rape. That's a real shocker. Not. And then we have the border treason. It just keeps going on and on and on. I watched Tucker Carlson last night, and he had on the Congressman Gonzalez from down there at El Paso, and, you know, picture speaks 1,000 words. It's unbelievable. And the mayor of El Paso has declared a crisis. Emergency. He says we can't handle it. Denver, Colorado is overflowing with illegal immigrants. They're doing this on purpose. It's treason. House of Representatives ought to do something. So stay tuned right after this. Same show coming up. The local news. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Bulldog Local News on Bulldog TV. And we begin this format with breaking news. We are beating 5, 9, 12, 19 in the Enquirer with this news. And you know who I want to thank? I want to thank Bulldog Nation. I want to thank all you healthcare workers. I want to thank all you members of Bulldog Nation, all of my friends in this community who give me information and give me tips. I just love it. And by the way, we are hiring reporters. We desperately need reporters. So if you'd like to be a reporter, contact me. But this is the news. I'm going to read from an email that I received. I have some information. A birdie, third in charge at St. Elizabeth Medical Center, told me that St. E's is buying TriHealth. Apparently, TriHealth was in the hole last year, so they've been holding meetings with their executive team. This includes all of their medical offices, Good Sam Hospital, and Bethesda's. If that isn't a monopoly, nurses won't be able to escape St. E's even across the pond. Wow. Also, did you know that I gave up my productivity bonus because they closed offices? Meanwhile, they're cashing massive COVID checks and I can't pay my bills. Contractually, they provide patients. I see them and get productivity for that, but they kept my bonus to pay them back for COVID. I'm sick of them. Now, if you go to Google, if you don't think that this tip is not real, and you watch 5, 9, 12, 19, the Inquirer, Business Courier, they'll all go start calling St. E's and TriHealth. You ready for this? Look at it. August 24, 2017, TriHealth and St. E's announced intention to develop laboratory partnership. July 17, they partner with Mutual of Omaha and Lamaris health insurance plans. TriHealth and St. E's have been working together jointly for a while. February 1st, 2014, TriHealth and St. E's will jointly own Healthcare Solutions Network. You see? So, is it true? I'll bet you it is. Is St. Elizabeth Medical Center in talks to buy TriHealth, Good Sam, Bethesda, and what do you think about that? Good, bad, indifferent? I personally think it's an awful idea. And the reason why I think it's an awful idea is it's just one less competitor in the healthcare field. But if you work at one of these places, you may or may not care, but I'm going to stand on this tip. I trust my contact. So how do you like that? Bulldog Media breaks that news. And remember, we also broke the news that apparently there's some shenanigans going on at the VA hospital, the head of them leaving in Cincinnati, and the NKU president, that there might be some money issues related to both of those exits. All right, long crime. George Wagner IV was sentenced Monday to life in prison for 8 murders and the Pike County Massacre. Wagner and some of his family members were charged with murders in 2016, just less than 8 hours of deliberation, 3-month-long trial. This is a tragedy, not just because of the deaths, but no death penalty. Folks, this should have been death penalty. This is wrong that it's not death penalty. Shame on the prosecutors on that. Independence man Tommy Joe Powell will be held on $1 million bail after killing his girlfriend. He killed his girlfriend last week and spent days with the body before the police found her in his home. In local news, a Cincinnati nonprofit is fighting the opiate crisis through a vending machine on Hamilton Avenue in Northside. The vending machine offers free addiction-fighting resources such as Narcan, injection kits, and fentanyl strips. There's enough supplies and machine to serve around 1,000 people every year. By the way, I support these things. Local philanthropists Harry and Linda Fath, FATH, have donated $50 million to the Boys and Girls Club of Cincinnati. Mr. Fath decided to make a donation based on his experience volunteering for the club when he was in high school. By the way, they have donated a lot of money to this community. Seem like great people. Travel plans at Cincinnati could be affected by the blizzard-like conditions expected later this week. Currently, most airlines are not issuing weather waivers will allow you to change your flight to an earlier time. By the way, looks like on Christmas Eve, cold. In Kentucky State news, the Kentucky Supreme Court ruled this week to protect the manufacturing sales tax exemption. The exemption pardons 6% sales tax and offers benefits on manufacturing materials and supplies. Officials point out the exemption encourages businesses to consider Kentucky for manufacturing facilities. Kentucky has announced a $2 million grant that will go towards 33 agencies within the state. The agencies combat situations such as sexual assault, domestic violence, and stalking. The groups offer help and services for victims who've experienced these crimes. In Ohio State news, Ohio has added a provision to the tobacco bill that will prevent individual cities from regulating smoking and vaping. Some state lawmakers argue that cities shouldn't have the power to ban anything considered unhealthy. And the Carew Tower, Once home, the top four, once home at Deters Law, has gotten a big boost. They're getting $6.4 million to upgrade the facility. I bet you old Greg Powers wish they would have given that kind of money. They're going to make the top 32 floors apartments. And in sports, sad news to report. Tom Browning, Mr. Perfect, passed away at 62 in Union. You know, Tom struggled after his baseball career. But he was a good guy, and every Joe guy, that's why everybody liked him. He's one of only 28 perfect games, only one in Reds history, and he rode that all the way through. But all the best to the Browning family and their moment of need. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Remember, coming up right after this is World News in a Minute with Jamie Spinley, my mate.
Bulldog Nation, this is Bulldog TV World News, the latest headlines. The new look of banknotes featuring the image of King Charles has been unveiled by the Bank of England. At least 36 people have been injured and 11 seriously hurt after an Hawaiian airline flight from Phoenix to Honolulu was hit by severe turbulence. 9 Chinese warships spotted in the East China Sea ahead of a weeks-long joint exercise drill with Russia, which will begin December the 21st through December the 27th. A former 97-year-old secretary who worked for the commander of a Nazi concentration camp has been convicted of complicity in the murders of more than 10,500 people during World War II. Unbelievable. And Argentina's World Cup winning captain, Lionel Messi, has been named BBC Sports Personality's World Sports Star of the Year for 2022. Congratulations. Until tomorrow, stay safe and have a great day.